Hello, musical theater performance instructors. Well, you are your own kind. You are a special category, and I am so thankful for you. This is my personal favorite type of class to teach because the students are so excited and so enthusiastic. They've, had some light bulb moment of, I love musicals, this is so fun. Or they sing and dance around the house, and their parents are like, you need to do some Broadway. They go see a show at the Fox or the Muni, and they're all lit up, and it's just so much fun. So I'm really excited for you guys to enjoy this year with our students. We have a lot of them, and it's going to be great. So just a couple things. Please refer to the planning and preparation video that applies to all classes and teachers, but I wanted to do a separate one for MTP because there are some specific things to this type of class. Probably the first, foremost, most important thing that I want to communicate to you all is please put the time and the work in to develop a strong, healthy working relationship with your co-teacher. Reach out to each other if you haven't already. Start to do your planning together. Begin to build a strong communication with your co-teacher. Talk often. Plan together, and just make sure that you both are really on the same page about what you want to accomplish this year together. And please work toward an equitable load share. We try really hard to combine somebody with a dance strength with somebody with a vocal strength, and usually between the two of you, you can come up with some sort of flow for how you're going to do the acting piece. But what we don't want, of course, is for one person to be doing 2/3 of the work and to start to build up some frustration about that. So please work together to make sure that you are load sharing. Unless, of course, one person wants to do a lot of it, in which case, like, if that's cool, if that's your vibe, great. Everybody kind of works differently, and co-teacher relationships in this class can look totally different from class to class and teacher to teacher, and that's totally fine as long as you all are content with the way that you work it out and that you're really seeking to take care of one another so that no one person is doing the majority of the work and feeling, resentment toward the other for that. Of course, reach out to myself and Christy if you need help with any of that. If you're struggling to come up with how you want to balance one thing or another, we can totally help you guys with that. But please prioritize taking care of each other and making sure you're on the same page about that stuff. As far as getting subs when you're with the co-teacher, we do still prefer that you get a sub who, is in your strength, is in your discipline, so that your co-teacher still has somebody else to work with in that class. If that's not possible, or if you just decide, like, you know what, I have a ton of dance to review, don't worry about getting me a vocal person, I'm just going to do a lot of dance, or whatever it is, that's fine. That's totally fine as long as you all work that out together and you're cool with that. But otherwise, please do work to get a sub for your co-teacher. And then I just wanted to talk for a few minutes about the expectations of this particular class. So we have two different varieties. We have Broadway Bash and musical theater performance. Broadway Bash is the more entry level. It's laid back, low key, less structure, just come and have fun doing musical theater. It's, the kids who are just trying it out, or maybe there's a bunch of friends in the class and they're just with their friends. It's very like extracurricular activity, recreational. I'm just here to have fun. So play some more games, let it be a little more student-led in terms of what you guys work on, making sure that you're still hitting, some of the disciplinary touch points, the touch points of each discipline, but it can be a little more chill and just more fun. Musical theater performance is for the students who are really ready to dig into more of the skill building, the technique, and really have a goal toward improving and growing so that they can do the next thing, go to the next level, be in a musical, audition, be successful in those kinds of ways, that kind of thing. We try really hard to communicate the differences in these two classes as people register so that they're ending up in the right class, but you may find that you have a kid in BASH who should be in MTP or vice versa. If you have real concerns about that becoming disruptive or just not doable for your class dynamic, reach out to me and Christy, and we can talk about some solutions to that. We have asked students to switch at the halfway point into the spring semester. There are ways that we can work to support you and the students should you find yourself in that situation. So just reach out to us. Just a reminder that the expectation for these classes is that you cover 3 songs and 2 scenes in one semester. They don't have to be full songs. You can make cuts. It can be, 2 out of the 3 verses and 2 out of the 4 choruses. You can cut the bridge. That kind of stuff is fine. In terms of the scenes, you don't have to take a scene from a musical unchanged and find a way to make it work for your students. You can modify, you can paraphrase, you can add lines, you can cut lines to make it work for the students that you have in front of you. That is all fine. So one semester should be more than enough time to cover 3 songs and 2 scenes. Try to cover different styles of musicals. Don't do, all contemporary. Try to cover some different genres. And just make sure that you're really providing a variety of exposure to different musical theater performance. And you want to be good at time management, and how that looks depends on you and your co-teacher. Some people like to be the first 4 weeks is song 1 and scene 1, and the next 4 is song 1 and scene 2, and so on and so forth. Some like to overlap. This week we're gonna do song 1 and scene 1. Next week we're gonna review song 1 and we're gonna start song 2. And then the week after we're gonna do this, and so there begins to become some crisscross and crossover. However you guys want to do it as a team is fine, as long as you are making sure that you are on a trajectory to cover 3 songs and 2 scenes together. This is the part of the video where I give you your secret question. So you have to respond to the email and you have to answer this question in order to get credit for participation so that I can pay you some money. Okay, so here's your secret question. What is one song that you are looking forward to teaching your classes this year? One song from one musical. What's one thing that you hope that you can do in your musical theater performance or Broadway Bash class in this semester? Also keep in mind that in these classes, we do want an equitable feature moment for all of your students. So whether that's a solo in a song, a line, a dance feature, you want to make sure that each student gets some kind of feature. And if you start to cycle into where now it's feature number 2, everybody gets 2 features. If it's 3, everybody gets 3 features. It could be different. This student is a better dancer, so we're going to give them a dance feature or some kind of tumbling moment or something. And this one's a great singer, so their feature is a solo. It's not that everyone has to have a line, everyone has to have a solo, everyone has, you look and play to the strengths of your students, but just make sure that the ways that they're featured feels equitable to them. The exception, of course, is with attendance, and we're going to try to really hammer the attendance policy this semester and this year. 3 consecutive absences, and they are at risk of their feature being reassigned, whatever you're currently working on. You should not be waiting for students to return to class to move forward. Work without them, get someone else to say the line as you rehearse it. If you're finding that the student is, not coming to class, then reach out to me and Christy, and we will communicate to the parents that they need to come to class or their features are going to be reassigned. And they may not even be able to be in that particular number if they're just not there to have learned it, and then you just move on. So of course, if you have questions about that, it's easier to, do it in talking points and policies, and harder to execute it in real life when you've got people in front of you. So I'm happy to help you navigate that. I believe those are all the big things I wanted to make sure that I hit. Have so much fun. Lean on me and Christy for help, and I can't wait to see what you do in the classroom.